Welcome to Ranking Every Commander with the Nitpicking Nerds.
This time, we're going to go over all of the C20 Commander 2020 commanders. Boy, that has commander in it a lot. We're doing from worst to best.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, BZ, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. Do you love it when people rank things from worst to best? We did it a million times, and we're doing it again right now for Commander 2020. So if you enjoy it, you got to subscribe to someone. Might as well be us.
Yep. Then besides, you want to be subscribed to this channel because our subscribers are 10% more likely to be able to ride a Skyshark.
Disclaimer guy here. The Nitpicking Nerds aren't liable if you can't write something that ain't real.
Well, if we learned anything from last video, we have to get right into it. This is going to be a long one.
It's going to be a slog.
Yeah, so let's get into the worst ones. We're going to spend less time on them, obviously. We went power, fun, artwork, coolness, uniqueness, 5 factors that contribute to something as your commander. That's how we're ranking these as the leader of a 99, not in the 99 or in general. And there's other factors we can get into later.
Yep. We'll talk about each one of these. We'll tell you where they rank, who they rank in between.
Yes. Who's the worst? Who sucks?
The worst is Akim, the Soaring Wind, coming in at 684, right above Ukumar, and right below Miri, the Cursed.
This is where they fit in, because if we haven't mentioned it yet, we have a list of every commander ever, and we're slotting these in, so that's where it fits between.
Yes. Tuna Jeskai for a legendary bird dinosaur. 3/4 flying. Whenever you create one or more tokens for the first time each turn, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. 3 in a Jeskai. Creature tokens you control gain double strike.
Oh my god, that's so expensive. 6 mana for double strike? If your tokens are 1/1s, you 6 mana for +1/+1. And you can't repeat it because double strike only counts once.
And it's only the first time you make tokens. So you make 1 token and you get 1 bird. And
this is 5 mana for a 3/4. And it gives you at most 1 bird every turn. That is terrible. This card is not very strong.
It also it makes you pay 6 mana to give all your tokens double strike.
What did I say the other day? I said this card could cost 1 in a Jeskai, and the ability could just be Jeskai, and I still don't think it would be that good.
No, it's definitely not very good in this situation.
Cut the costs in half, and it's still medium.
The art is whatever. There's really nothing to talk about on this card. Nothing notable.
When there's nothing to talk about, we can just move on.
Yeah. You know where he is? You know he's right next to Miri the Cursed. That should tell you all you need to know.
He's sucky. Someone who's slightly less sucky at 645 is Kaiser, Ruthless Stalker. He is in between Zetalpa, Primal Dawn, and Munda, Ambush Leader.
Munda.
3 and a green for a 3/3 Human Warrior. He partners with Ukumar, Stalking Shadow. We can get to that one much later. That card is way better than this one. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. How do we take this? How do we take partners into account?
Well, we take into account that he can either be his own solo commander and also he can be in a deck with the partner.
Ukumar.
So it can be either one. So his power is you can have a bunch of unblockable creatures. He doesn't do very much. He's only putting counters on your creatures. It's not too crazy.
He has an immediate effect, but it's not very good. At best, it's an anthem immediately. Also, all partners are getting a +1 power ranking. So this guy is a 2. Because he partners with Ukumar or anything in general, he gets a +1.
Yes, exactly. 6 for art. He's just kind of a dude standing there with an eye patch.
He's a dude in a forest. The eye patch is the only cool thing about him. And in terms of uniqueness, it's green. It's +1/+1 counters. And the partners with is really the only text on this card that's interesting.
He has the worst title for any human to have, a Ruthless Stalker.
Right. If this was the real world, he has a really bad title. Like, oh, he's just like a scary dude. Like, just actually stay away from him.
Next we have Trin, Champion of Freedom. She's 485, right above Delicos, right below Renata. Both Theros, Beyond Death commanders, falling right between them. 3 and white for a legendary creature, Human Soldier, 3/3, partners with Sylvar, Devourer of the Free. At the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, create a 1/1 Human Soldier creature token. She got a 2 for power because she only technically does something.
Half of her power is because she gets +1 for being partners with someone else.
Yeah, this card's not very good at all. 5 for fun. There's stuff to do with it. The partnering up and doing like what that deck wants to do is more fun. Still not anything crazy.
Same with the art, but the lore is the only thing I want to talk about. What is the actual lore of this card?
She is a big jerk who thinks the best way to make the people stronger is to basically feed the weak to her tiger.
Yes, feed the weak to my tiger specifically. Look, guys, this is how it's supposed to go. And the tiger's like,
I do like that with... I guess we'll get more into that with the tiger. Ooh. Yeah, there's nothing...
yeah, we'll get back to it. This card is poop, basically.
The card doesn't really do much.
I would almost rather play the tiger by itself.
No card I hate the most in the set. This is probably my least favorite commander, this next one.
Is it Kelsine the Plague, ranking in at number 460? Right above Aurelia the War Leader and right below Siona Captain of the Pyleas?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
What's he do?
Red, white, black for a 2/2 with Vigilance and Haste. He gets +1/+1 for each experience counter you have, and it taps to deal 1 damage to target creature you don't control. And if it dies this turn, you get an experience counter. I read it fast because we barely care.
It's a pinger. It deals 1 damage. The only cool thing you can do with this is give it Death Touch. There's just nothing to do with this card.
Even if you proliferate your experience counters, you get like a 6/6 that still does 1 damage. It really needed to say X. It needed to do X damage, where X is your experience, and that's like okay.
X +1, so you don't start at 0.
It's just something. X +1. Is that a broken card? It's probably still pretty bad.
That's way more interesting than what we got, which is...
We got a pinger. We're not excited about it. It has no lore. It has nothing to speak of. And I mean, do you really want to waste more time on this? Or
I mean,
we can go to the cooler one, right? Like this is like, if you want to build this deck, that's cool. This commander could be cool. I'm sure the deck looks interesting. This card is just not interesting to us, which is cool.
The art is fine. He looks kind of cool in his mask, but also...
The Plague is a really cool name, but we don't know anything about him.
He doesn't do anything. I mean, also, who nicknames themselves the Plague?
Well, that would be interesting to find out. If it's like it's kind of overhyping him. He's like, oh, he's a Plague. What does he do? 1 damage.
No, he's not a Plague. He's the Plague.
Yeah, the Plague does 1 damage. We're going to move on because I don't care about Kelsine that much. Yannick, Scavenging Sentinel, is slightly cooler. He's at 412 above Krenko and below... Oh, spoiler! He's right below another commander.
Yeah, he's right below another commander who we're going to get to in a minute.
Literally.
Yeah, this is Yannick the Scavenger. So what does he do?
2 white green for a 3/3. Partner with Nikara, Lair Scavenger. Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, exile another creature you control until it leaves the battlefield. If you do, distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures, where X is the exile creature's power.
This card's strange. It comes down and this is a strange one. She comes down, she exiles anything that you control, so it's Fiend Touch underneath it. And then, weirdly enough, she distributes counters to any creatures, not just herself. It's quite strange.
She's protecting your best thing while it goes scavenging somewhere. And then when it comes back, all your stuff's dead. And it's going to be like, oh, everything's dead because you probably got board wiped.
It's kind of cool to put a Sun Titan under it because you distribute 6 counters and it comes back and you get an ETB.
Oh, I thought you meant like it gets this back.
Oh,
no. I thought that was a random. How about like Karmic Guide?
Yeah, it's anything with an ETB.
Because then you can just get back Yannick and do it again.
I mean, that's fair. That's a fine way to do it. I wasn't trying to loop things. I was just... Well, I mean, Karmic Guide only distributes 2 counters. So it's lame. Ooh, no, it is cool to under it? Revlark. Because it triggers Revlark when it goes under it.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
It puts more things in play.
And that's sweet. Makes someone a board wipe, get a Revlark back, and then you can get that stuff.
Too bad this thing's a 3/3.
Oh, drat.
Anyway, it doesn't really do anything. I just like the synergy of, oh, hey, Nikara is going to go scavenge, and this thing's going to guard it.
Yeah, there's not really any lore. The art is fine. It's just a hyena thingy.
Just, a hyena.
I think it's a hyena beast.
Of course. You got to throw beast in there.
I mean, yeah, you just have to throw a second creature type because why not? And it's pretty fun. I mean, again, these cards are pretty boring down here. Uniqueness, though, it's an extremely unique card because it comes out and O-rings your own thing and then distributes counters.
Yeah, only your own thing.
There's a lot of things that care about what's underneath. Like maybe it gets the power toughness or something, but this specifically puts counters on any creatures you control.
It seems all right. Yeah. It's like an Amzan Aristocrat thing.
Directly above that is the partner, Nikara, Lair Scavenger, 4/11, right above Yannick, and right below Triads of Fate. 2 black for a legendary creature, human cleric 2/2. Partners with Yannick, has menace. Whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had 1 or more counters on it, you draw a card and lose 1 life.
This is a reasonable pairing with Yannick. It's nothing crazy. I don't know. It's going to draw you cards. These ones are not interesting to me. I mean, I respect how good they are. They're fine. They're right in the middle of all commanders.
I like that when you get to play both your commanders out, you can hide something decent underneath, plus put counters out. So now when a board wipe comes, they're good at resisting board wipes.
I liked it more when I was talking about it. Now I don't know, something sucked all the passion out of me. I'm like not into these anymore.
The drawing cards, playing more Magic is more fun. You just you pass out the counters, you leave your commander out. So again, when board wipe comes around, you go, woohoo! I'll draw 6 cards, lose 6 life.
This really persists and undying because they have to get counters anyway. If you want a Black Sun Zenith as a board wipe, you're just going to get a bunch of card draw.
That's fair. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. That is a sweet interaction that I did not think about.
You're welcome.
Artist perfectly fine. She's got pink hair. She's just a person.
She's just like Kinhan. It's like, what is this? Oh, he's a dude with blue hair.
No, it's the girl.
Yeah, but Kinhan's just a dude with blue hair.
She's just a chick with pink hair.
Moving on.
2, Halden, Avid Arcanist. Right above, Sekuar, Deathkeeper. Right below, Wrath Capuchin, Ship's Mage. 2 and a blue for a legendary creature, Human Wizard. It partners with Paco. He's a 1/4. You may play non-creature cards from exile with fetch counters on them if you exiled them, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells.
If you would notice a general theme, it's that we've gone over 1 multicolor partner and 4 monocolor partners so far.
Yeah, this one we actually gave a 0 for power because it literally needs the partner to do
has no text.
Anything. So it got a 1 for power because
the +1 is what it got.
It really doesn't do anything. All the power comes from the other card going and getting I know the cards have to work together, but
the easiest way to grade partners in terms of what we think is we're not going to go, here's a Halden deck, here's a Paco deck, and here's a Halden and Paco deck. I think the easier thing to do is just, all right, we recognize that they're both stronger with the other partner. This one just so happens to not do literally anything without the partner.
No, literally nothing.
Yeah, but we're not going to make an exception to the rule just for this.
Yeah, he just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, sure. Not only that, but power is only 1/5 of the points anyway.
Yeah.
So we boost power and then we can move on.
Yeah, he's extremely fun. You get to cast your opponent's spells that the dog
spoiler alert
goes and gets.
Paco's going to get them and then he can cast them.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. He's the man and his dog.
Shaggy and Scooby. It's John Wick and his dog. I don't know any other man dogs.
There's like a million.
It's Will Smith and his dog from I Am Legend.
Is that his name?
Can you name one more? I named 3 just off the bat.
I mean, if you just give me a couple seconds. Bob Saget and the dog from Full House.
That was Bob Saget's dog, or are you just naming someone from Full House?
What? They had the dog in the show.
I don't know.
I
couldn't confirm or deny that. I didn't watch Full House.
All right. He's got a 5 for art. Art is just whatever. He's just kind of a dude in weird clothes.
He's like, where's the more interesting half? Oh, there it is.
No, he's like, he threw his stick and he's like, go get it, boy. Yeah.
Well, let's go get it away from this guy.
He's playing fetch with his dog. Though uniqueness, this card is extremely unique.
The combination of them, we can almost just leave it for Paco because he's coming up soon anyway.
Yeah, that's true. He's just as unique.
Paco's like the real part. Anyway, 321, next is Ultrame, the ever playful. He's above Okagachi and right below Olivia. So 3 O's in a row.
Oh.
3 and a Sultai for a 6/6 with trample. But it mutates for 1 in a Sultai, which means you can... Okay, we know what mutate does. It's on the card, you can read it. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, return target creature card with mutate from your graveyard to your hand. This is a 4 mana 6/6 with haste, because it's going to come down on one of your best things. It's going to have hexproof, it's going to have indestructible, it's going to have, I don't know, lifelink, I guess. Lifelink.
Okay.
It's the next best one.
It'll have some of these abilities, but you can really augment the power of things that care about power.
There's just absolutely brutal things. Anything that cares about how much combat damage it deals, any sort of, even with double strike, this gets crazy. You can self-mill yourself, put all the mutate cards in. You don't even have to play a mutate deck. You can just play a Voltron deck.
Yeah, I mean, just find stuff that's good for him to put on. Put a Boggle down, put it on there. Even that, a 6/6.
This is Sultai Slippery Bogle deck, right? Really? Basically.
Yeah, essentially. If you wanted to build it that way, you can. Art is really good. He's like doing like a little flippy looking at a frog.
He's playing hide and seek with a frog and he's about to eat it.
That's not really hide and seek. I don't know if you know the rules of hide and seek, but
the frog is hiding and I think he's seeking. The frog's in the log.
Well, I was saying, I don't know if you know the rules, but it usually doesn't end up being eaten.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think the cutest part of this card that I'm just realizing is that the frog agreed to play hide and seek. Like in my head canon.
Okay.
The frog was like, yeah, let's play.
I was going to say, no, I don't think it did.
In my head it did.
In your head, it can.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. Mutate's the only unique thing about this card, really.
It's a 6/6. It literally just doesn't do anything.
Yeah. So
if you take away Mutate, this is a 6/6 for 6.
Yeah, a 6/6 for
With
6.
trample.
That when it deals damage, you do something.
No, it says when you deal combat damage, you may return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything. What's next?
Next is Zaxara, the Exemplary at 247 above Shirei and below Kaidel. 1 in a Sultai for a 2/3 Death Touch Nightmare Hydra. Taps for 2 mana of any one color, and whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, you make a 0/0 green Hydra with X counters on it. This is a beefy boy. He's gonna. This card is surprisingly good.
It is definitely strong. Just a 4-death attached for 2 mana is already decent.
Pretty sweet.
And there's just so much more tech stacked on top of that.
It's weird that it's right below Kaidel, a 4-drop that's going to tap for more than 1 mana. That's actually pretty sweet.
I guess that's fair. I didn't even notice that till right now. This is a 10 for fun.
You can do whatever you want.
You're casting huge, giant X spells
if you want. You can just cast you can cast Hydras, you can cast Villainous Wealth, you can cast counter spells, you can just try to combo off because it taps for 2 mana.
I mean, casting a big X spell, and on top of getting the big X spell, you also
get a big X spell.
Get a big X Hydra.
Vanilla thing. You can populate it. You can proliferate. You can go insane. I don't even know. There's so many different ways to go.
There is counters, isn't it? I didn't even think about it being counters.
In terms of art, I don't like it. Joe likes it more than me. I don't like that no matter how much I look at it, I have no idea what's going on.
It's just a super colorful, gross Hydra. I don't know. With a weird...
to me, it changes from the creature is gross to the art is gross.
I don't know. I don't really see it. I don't see that. It just looks like it's stupid and I think it's too colorful.
Maybe.
I think I guess though in headcanon, when an animal that is so huge and giant is colorful, that means it doesn't need to hide anymore from anything. So now it's working on evolution.
What about a peacock?
And now evolutionarily, I mean,
they don't do anything.
They don't need to hide from anything.
I don't even know what eats a peacock.
I don't know.
What do peacocks eat? Are they even real? I don't know anything about peacocks.
Whatever. Moving on to the next one though, because I think we're done talking about this cool Hydra deck.
Yeah, it's a great card. It's going to tap for mana. I don't know. This card's better than it looks, actually. We'll say that.
It is strong. So next we have Paco, Arcane Retriever, right above Hokey Dokey Dust Drinker, and right below Kinnan. 3 red-green for an Elemental Hound, 3/3. It partners with Halden, as we talked about before. It has haste. Whenever he attacks, exile the top card of each player's library and put a fetch counter on each of them. Put a +1/+1 counter on Paco for each non-creature card exiled this way.
All right, so this is the piece that unlocks, makes Halden make any sense.
Yeah, so
this still doesn't really do anything by itself though.
But it does do something. It's more than nothing.
It's a 3/3, has haste, and it gets bigger regardless of whether you cast them or not.
Yeah, the cool thing about this is you can hit lands and you can play the lands.
Yeah, it says play non-creatures, not cast. So it's a little bit better than just, I'm going to get one thing.
Yeah, I mean, hitting lands, him getting powered up by lands is probably what keeps him from being lower in power.
Yeah, Commander's Brew did the deck with this, and they were their goal was to play extra lands because they knew that was pretty much all they're going to get. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, that's a completely fair thing to do, is to play some extra lands and make it a ramp spell as well.
Yeah, sure.
Fun. It's fun. You attack in, you're going to cast your opponent's things, you get to also play their land drops. You're not going to miss land drops when you got Paco. Did
you know that Ikoria has St. Bernards on it?
Yes, it's an element.
Who would have thought?
It's an elemental St. Bernard.
In the shocking twist of events, there's St. Bernards on Ikoria.
Yeah, 7 fire. It's it's an elemental dog. It looks like a St. Bernard, but it has leaves.
There's leaves on it, so we can put elemental in the creature type.
I don't know. Whoa. That kind of makes me uneasy. The idea of pulling, like the way a leaf grows, pulling it off of an animal, that makes me uncomfortable. Kind of like pulling a hair, but it's a leaf.
I don't even know what to say to that. Other than, there's almost no lore except that it's a man and his dog, and this is really cute, so it gets extra cool points. And they're super unique because they go crazy together, and they let you cast your opponent's spells and just keep them.
Yeah, it's a man and his dog. That's all you get here. I mean, what else? What more can you ask for than a man and his dog?
Well, apparently a lot more because he's halfway up.
Yeah, he's not for headless.
No.
So next is Tayam, Luminous Enigma, 2/2/7, right above Obnixious the Unshackled, and right below, spoilers, because it's another commander from the set right next to it. One in the Abzan for a legendary creature, Beast Nightmare 3/3. Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional vigilance counter on it. Pay 3, remove 3 counters from among creatures you control. Put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, then return a permanent card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
It's a little Sun Titan effect.
I mean, yeah, this is an Abzan Sun Titan type commander where you're going to give free vigilance counters, but you're also just going to play a deck around having less of counters.
Don't think of it like the vigilance matters at all. It just kind of says creatures you control enter with a counter that you're planning on removing later.
Yeah, I don't know. This is perfectly fine for power, but it's pay 3, remove 3 counters, and then get something back that costs 3 mana. You're paying the 3 mana you're getting back.
Yeah, it's an expensive little ramp spell if you want to land, and if not, it's a way to put creatures in play. It just doesn't seem that strong. It's a cute little engine. It's going to do things. It's a little engine that could.
I'm just not a fan of this guy. It seems more fun than it is powerful though, but
that's not. Yeah, fun is just as important as power. So
yeah, you pay 3, you remove some counters, you get back to stuff. That's fine. Like it's fine. It's going to be a cool engine to keep doing it over and over again. So it's like
it's super fair.
If you return a creature, you get one of your counters back.
Yeah, you get a counter. So it really only costs. So if you get back a land, it really only costed 2 mana, and if you get back a creature, it really only costed 2 counters.
Yeah, I mean the
numbers look a little inflated for that reason.
I mean, I'm not a big. I don't know. This card just doesn't excite me. Art is good. It's like there's a tree growing. It's like this monster climbing over it.
I think it's just because it's vigilance counters. Oh, vigilance is so lame.
That's what the art.
That's what the thing you're like. Oh, this thing doesn't excite me.
Oh,
then you moved on to art, and I was like, no, wait, let's talk about vigilance. And how boring it is.
Yeah. But what about the art?
It looks like a sloth. I don't know. It's just amazing. It's the contrast of the swirly bits. And I thought that was his arm, but it's a tree. He's got both arms together resting on the tree. He doesn't have a weird tree arm.
He does not have a tree arm, but his arms are not together.
They're right next to each other.
One arm's up here, one arm's down here.
They're like 2 feet apart.
One arm.
Yeah, like 2 feet apart.
That's not together. Also, that's probably like 6 feet. Take into consideration how big the thing is.
Yes.
They're not even close.
It's a 3/3. It's not that big. It's not even as big as a tree.
It is as big as a tree.
Basically.
And for uniqueness, I mean, you're not really doing much other stuff like this. Sun Titan it is Sun Titan type effect. Where else are you really getting something?
It gives you a million ways to build something. You want to play lands from your graveyard? Do you want to play self-mill and get back the coolest things? Do you want to go combo? Do you want to put these create like Renegade Rattler, then it gets you something else, and then maybe that gets you something else?
Do you want to play tons of counters? Do you want to, you can just put counters and everything and then remove all those counters to get stuff back.
Winding Constrictor, double vigilance counters. Creatures tap for mana, give them haste, then you can maybe combo off.
Make your, is there anything in Abzan that lets us make our actual abilities cost less?
I don't know, off the top of my head.
I think all of it's in blue and green.
Yep.
Or red and white.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing yet. We'll get there. Next.
Brolin, Skyshark, Rider, 2/2/6. Guess what's right above? Right above Tayam, whatever. Right below Dragon Lord Solomgar. 3 in a red for a 3/3. Partner with Shabraz, the Skyshark. Whenever you discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on her and deal 1 damage to each opponent. Pay a red, target shark gains trample until end of turn.
That is almost flavor text. It's just a cool, the shark does something for the human and the human does something for the shark. That's good. That's really cool.
So this is kind of powerful because you start wheeling, you start dealing lots of extra damage. She's also getting bigger the whole time while you're doing
wheeling and dealing. You start wheeling and then you start dealing damage.
Yeah,
wheeling and dealing damage.
I never even noticed that it was so you can start wheeling and dealing damage, and that wasn't even intentional.
Absolutely.
This
is just a good card.
It just keeps growing bigger and bigger while simultaneously dealing damage to your opponents.
This is the only one of the mono cards that I'm like, okay, this could go on its own. You can ignore the shark part of it, or you can partner with Shabraz. I think either one is an option.
Yeah, it's fairly powerful. Like a 6 for power is nothing to scoff at.
It's good. It's like one of the highest numbers we got so far, if not the.
Yeah, it's up there. 8 for fun. This is a fun deck where you want to keep wheeling and stuff because also you're gonna most likely have Shabraz who wants you to draw cards.
Yes, spoiler alert, Shabraz wants to draw cards, so then when you draw and discard something like a cycling or a tormenting voice, you trigger both of them and you just go
So in a 3 for art. I don't. This art was done by the same person who did Shabraz, and we'll get to what Shabraz's art actually is. But like, this art just doesn't look good. Her face is like super weird.
It looks like it's superimposed, or it's like a crude Photoshop.
It's not.
It
great.
looks like Red Cap Melee, if you know what that card is.
Yeah, it's just not great art. And a 10 for coolness, because you ride a Skyshark. Sorry, you get a 10 for coolness, and then
also they were fighting, and that's how they bonded. Like they were trying to kill each other.
Weird. Also, who would fight a Skyshark?
Brawlin, Skyshark rider.
Okay.
His name was that before he ever rode one.
Oh,
I can't control it.
Is it a girl? I thought it was a girl.
I don't know. Brawlin sounds like a guy's name.
Yeah.
Maybe that's me,
Let's look again.
Conforming to.
No, that looks like a guy now that you say it.
Yeah, now it's a guy.
I thought it was a female.
Well, it's okay. Consequences are very minimal.
That's fair.
We can move on to
Ukumar, the Stalking Shadow at 186, right above Freylease and right below Progenitus. 1 blue-black for a legendary creature, Wolf Whale 2/2, partners with the Ruthless Stalker.
What was that?
The Ruthless Stalker.
Oh, okay.
This card can't be blocked. When Ukumar leaves the battlefield, deal X damage to target player, and you gain X life where X is its power. So this is when it leaves the battlefield, so flicker effects, all that kind of stuff, that goes into its power because,
if you have Deadeye, you can pay 2 mana to deal 2 damage to somebody and gain 2 life.
Yeah, I know what else I really like with this card. I really like something like Rancor. This augment its power even higher.
You have to play stupid Kaiser, but don't actually cast Kaiser. Just leave him in the command zone and play Rancor with his color identity.
Yeah, I mean, once in a while, put him out because you don't have anything else to do.
It's good for ninjutsu.
Yeah,
because you just deal damage and then it comes back and it's unblockable. Seems good to me.
I really like that. That's really that is actually cool. Blue black is the ninja colors. I genuinely like that.
As far as art goes, I think obviously this is pretty fun. I like everything about this card. But as far as art goes, and I guess we'll factor in coolness too, it's based on like that, there's an Inuit like monster tale of there was wolf tracks leading in and out of like Arctic seas. And I guess they just made a myth up of this whale wolf thing. So that's why it has the paws of a wolf and almost nothing to do with the whale except for the tail.
Yeah.
It has to have wolf paws.
Yeah, that's cool. But the art is actually just good. It just looks good. It's just
like a stalking shadow. It looks like it's going to mess me up. It's scary.
It also looks like it has a tail for no reason.
The tail, I like to imagine the wolf is like 180 pounds, but the tail is like 600 pounds.
It's also imagine that thing just like running, like that fierce giant thing jumping into the water and swimming away. Elegantly, yeah. Very smooth. There's nothing to it.
It's a shadow, so it could do that.
I mean, and it gets 6 for uniqueness. It all comes from the fact that it's when it leaves, it's based on its power. That's
unblockable.
It's unblockable. That's all that stuff, but none of that is crazy unique in itself.
Not many commanders are unblockable, I will say.
That is true. I
can think of none right now, but I'm sure there's some.
Sure.
Like Progenitus, the one right above this, is technically unblockable.
I mean, the one that makes all your small guys unblockable. Tatsuka Umazawa.
Tatsuka Umazawa is unblockable?
Yeah, so there's at least one. Well, we don't need
There's at least one, guys, and Progenitus is 2. Next up on the list at 158 is Calmax, the Stormsire. He's above Estrid the Mast, and he's below Skithrix the Blight Dragon. 1 and a teamer for a 4/4 elemental dinosaur. Whenever you cast your first instant spell each turn, if he's tapped, copy that spell and you can choose new targets. Whenever you copy an instant spell, put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. He wants to be tapped, and he wants to copy all your spells and maybe go infinite accidentally if you fork someone else's spell.
It's very easy to go infinite. If he's tapped and you fork a spell, all you need is the payoff.
You just can't be the one who casts the spell.
Yeah, because it has to be the first spell you've cast each turn, so the
instant spell.
Yes.
And you're not playing sorceries. Except for Mystic's Mastery, which we talked about in the Commander Precon upgrade.
Yep. That is something we talked about. This card is just very powerful. It's inherently, getting it tapped is not that hard. You can either attack, which is very reasonable to do, or you can just find ways like, I don't know.
We found a bunch of 10-cent ways. Lands, tap it for mana. Artifacts, tap it to crew. You can tap it for mana with like Cryptolith, right? There's a million ways to tap it without exuding any effort.
What's the other card? What's the card that you tap it into? Springleaf Drum. Another card.
Springleaf Drum.
Great way to tap it.
Easy. How about fun?
It's extremely fun. You're playing all instants. You're going to be playing on your opponent's turn. The only thing that you're really going to focus on is getting this man tapped.
Right.
But that's not that hard.
The -1 for fun is probably the infinite combo thing, but even if you do it, it's not your turn, and the only infinite part you get is infinite counters on Calmax. Doesn't actually kill everybody.
Yeah, you get even if it counts as a Calmax, like you said, if a payoff like Ralzeric,
Right, if you have Ralzeric or Gutter Snipe, that can be interacted with too.
Then I have to say cast. Depends on if the copy says cast. There's things there.
It's not the worst infinite combo that there is.
It's not. It's also not the best.
Right. It's just a middle of the road. Like, hey, this is cool. My guy's infinite, but it's not my turn.
What's the next thing? What is the art? What do you think of it?
Well, his art is a little bit monochromatic, maybe by design. I don't know. I like the blue on tan stuff, but there's just not much to talk about. I don't know. It's good.
I want more Storm in art like this.
Less Sire.
If something is called the Storm Sire, I want there to be storms. I like.
Yeah, he controls the weather. He creates natural disasters.
No, his.
It's flavor text.
It was better wording. His mood controls the weather, and vice versa.
And vice versa.
So like,
if he makes bad weather, he just gets pissed off again. He makes worse weather, he'll never be happy again.
Yeah, like
that's depressing.
Or but I guess if he gets happy, then it's just sunny for the next 100,000 days.
Dang,
I don't know.
It's a long time.
Why not?
How old is this thing? It's a dinosaur. I don't know how long dinosaurs live. That's actually a great question. What was the lifespan of like a dinosaur?
Oh, I have no clue. Leave
it
a comment
5
below.
minutes. I really don't know. I would like to find out.
I would believe anywhere from like
10 years.
I was gonna say like 6 to like 10 years to like
100, 1,000. I don't know. They're still dinosaurs.
Yeah, I imagine it's got to be on the lower side because they were so big and like things like their joints would just wear down. Right?
If they had feathers, that makes me think they would live less.
I don't know. Why are we talking about this? This is nothing.
Kind of interesting. I mean, it factors into coolness because he's a dinosaur. See, we brought it back. And for uniqueness, he has to be tapped, and he cares about only instants. Finally, there's a card that doesn't say instant and sorcery or instant or sorcery.
Yeah, it's not often that you get that. Know what I really do like? No card I do like in this deck to copy. I just like a nice brainstorm. It's nice.
Why? We argued about that because I don't even like that.
I don't know why you don't like that.
It just sees one extra card.
You look 4 cards deep.
It's kind of like. It's like draw card, then brainstorm.
It's like draw. It's like draw. So essentially, what the card reads, is draw 4 cards, put 2 back.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I said draw card, brainstorm.
How is that not awesome?
Because it doesn't get you 2 brainstorms. Is what I'm saying.
It's
it just
so
gets
awesome.
Like it turns brainstorm into draw card.
It's still extremely good.
It like downgrades your brainstorm. Like, there's a lot of copies that don't downgrade the second version. Like if you just copy impulse, it's look at 8 cards, get 2.
But it's so awesome still.
You
can also have a fetch effect.
It seems more awesome for you. Well, once you have fetch effects, it gets better, but it depends on if you do or not.
Yeah, I'm just saying that sounds so cool.
For me, that doesn't.
It's also 1 mana. You can play Calmax if you can get him tapped with like a Springleaf. You could you can play Calmax on 4 with a Springleaf jump out, tap it in Brainstorm. Come on. How is look at the top 4?
I'm glad you were enjoying that. I'm not going to try to stymie your enjoyment of that.
I don't know. I think you're wrong.
I didn't even say anything. What was my opinion on that? I don't remember.
I think you're wrong for having any opinion.
I just said I wouldn't enjoy that.
Yeah, you're wrong for having an opinion.
I'll have to examine that.
What's next?
You tell me.
What? You tell me.
Fine. Sabraz the Skyshark, 141 above Mystics of the Aegis Magnus and below Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. 3 white-blue for a 3/3 flyer. Partners with Brawlin, and it's a shark bird. Whenever you draw a card, put a counter on this, and you gain 1 life, and you can pay an Azorius hybrid to give target human flying until end of turn.
So the brand new guild is Azorius.
Azorius. It sounded like we did a jump cut, but we just didn't. I said it weird.
Yeah, no, I've been laughing at things like that in our videos recently.
Sometimes it just ends up sounding like we cut it abruptly when we didn't.
Yeah, they're
You did one and I had one.
It sounds like a jump cut, but there's just no jump cut because it's just like we go from like talking like this, and then we'll get excited about something and it sounds like a jump cut.
Or our voice cracks or something.
Yeah, it's funny. So its power is a 6. It's gonna get big. It's flying. It hits hard. It's gaining life.
You liked this one more than me.
I mean,
you're gonna talk me up.
I just think you're drawing a lot of cards. Every single turn.
I just think it's a little expensive.
Every single turn, you're getting at least a counter. It's a flying. It's evasive. It gets big, fast, easy. If you cast a wheel, it's getting big. It already has flying. It's working with Brawlin. I think Brawlin is. They're both 6s for power, but I think Brawlin's
better.
I agree. I think Brawlin is better, but I think they're right in the same level.
But if Brawlin's better, why does his partner rank higher?
Because things like art. That is actually exactly what it is. That's the main reason.
I mean, yeah. Go into detail.
This art is extremely good. It looks great. It looks like a flying great white shark.
Just straight out of America. Just like waters. Just straight out of the waters of Earth. Which is like a great white shark.
I like-
right next to St. Bernard.
I'm sorry. I really like
Right out of America?
Right out of America. Like I am imagining.
There's probably sharks in America.
Like imagine this shark flying, but like making a ball eagle noise.
Like above Las Vegas.
Yeah, and it's wearing like a T-shirt that says USA on it.
And like an Elvis hair.
I don't know. I didn't have the Elvis hair,
I
man.
don't know, apparently it really likes Las Vegas. It's like a real big fan.
Well,
Elvis impersonator.
Chum-
Raz is now headcanon Elvis impersonator.
okay, so
Straight out of America.
straight out of America.
It's 2/3 of American colors.
I mean,
I'm done now.
it's just it's just gonna be an American deck.
It's then Brawlin is like Trump.
Sure. If you want to think about that,
Now it's political.
Then it's not political. No,
okay.
Don't make it political. It's got a 10 for coolness because it's a
Same as
freaking Skyshark.
Brawlin, except it would get like a 12.
Yeah, this is another one of those. If it could be cooler than a 10,
It's a shark bird. They didn't even try. It's a great white shark exactly with bird wings, and there's no blending. It's just like a shark with bird wings.
then that's pretty
And
cool.
I'm fine with it. I'm down for it.
I do wonder, and out of pure curiosity, does this thing breathe air, or does it go back into the water to breathe? Like kind of like what?
I thought you were gonna say, does it breed? Which is another fair question.
It definitely breathes.
Well, it says the Skyshark. This is the Skyshark. I think the crystals mutate stuff so that it like this probably started out as a shark, but the crystals mutated it into the shark bird. I think.
Okay, that's fair. I have no clue. I don't know the lore enough.
And now we do because I just told you straight from here the headcanon.
Straight from the headcanon.
We need to have some kind of GIF for headcanon.
I don't. I'm
picturing like a cannon.
I'm picturing like a mini cannon sitting on someone's
Like
head.
a little smoke comes out of my ear or something.
No, I'm just picturing like a toy cannon on someone's head.
And then it goes. Maybe it shoots garbage.
All right. Well, we're moving on to the next one. Silvar, Devourer of the Free. 1/1/8. Right above Merith, Will of the Wild, and right below Prime Speaker, Vanifer.
Devourer of the Free. Sounds like this guy is pretty anti-America.
Three black red for a cat nightmare 4/2. It partners with Trin and it has menace. Sacrifice a human, put a +1/+1 counter on this card. It gains indestructible until end of turn.
So this is pretty strong. It has menace and it can get indestructible at any given point. The counters can stack, so it's not like, oh, sacrifice a human once per turn to get a counter. This could just be like a 10/8.
Yeah, I think the only thing that really stopped this card from being more powerful, it's awesome to have this great sack out on your thing, but specifically your deck is going to have a lot of humans, and that makes, you can only sack the humans. That's what gives it slightly less power.
Humble Defector. Oh, I'm going to go over to. No, you're not. You're dead.
Yeah, ugh, poor guy.
Poor buddy. He wanted a haircut. That's all he wanted.
You got an 8. No, an 8. Nope, you got a 9. For
a
fun.
9 for fun, because this card can take you so many different ways as long as it involves humans.
Yeah, it has to involve humans. It's going to be aristocratic. You can really just, again,
I mean, you're in black. Maybe you just tutor for that. What is it? Conspiracy, where like you pick a creature type and all creatures are that type. Then everything's a human, and you don't even have to build around it. You just make tokens.
You can do that if you want. You can do this deck.
That's what I would do if I didn't have Trin, because Trin makes this less cool. Just saying. Once again, I would rather play pretty much every one of these multicolor commanders by themselves, except Shabraz. Because that has the playable, like the more playable partner, monocolor. But other than them, I like the multicolor ones way better.
Okay, and so we go on to art here. Come on.
6-legged cat nightmare, stalk, like creeping out of the shadows, ready to eat some poor dude. I wish it was first person, like you could see their hands, like they're, like some of the Innistrad cards where they're like, no!
I was not a big fan of this card personally.
I had to talk you up.
You had to talk me up on this art because I just don't like it.
Card.
It's tough to see exactly what is going on there.
See, but once you look at, like once you examine it, you can see everything. Unlike that Hydra, I still have no idea what's happening.
That's fair. And a 9. How? 9.
That's what the Germans said in World War II when the U.S. was like, we're going to beat you.
Okay. All right. And that's uniqueness. It's a Sakala in your command zone. He can get indestructible. He's getting +1/+1 counters. It is very aristocratic, but he's this awesome tiger Sakala for just humans.
Absolutely. And this card will get in more than you think because it has menace. Just they staple menace on there. Thank you, Wizards.
It hits hard.
I appreciate the free menace.
Thank you.
Oh, this next commander. All right. Trigger warning for people who think Mardu sucks. We got a bone to pick with basically everybody. It's Gerina Kudrow. She's 101. Above Teferi, Temporal Archmage, and below, secret spoiler. She is 1 in a Mardu for a 3/3. When she enters the battlefield, for each time you've cast a commander from the command zone this game, you get a 1/1 human, and then other humans you control get +2/+0. Why do we have a bone to pick with literally everyone?
No one thinks this is powerful, but
not even that. Everyone thinks this is bad. Everyone's like, this card sucks. Why is this the terrible commander and every other one is amazing?
I mean, we just disagree. This comes out and it's augmenting power a ton. If you have 3 humans on the battlefield,
right.
3.
And then you play her.
You're now getting another human. And she's pumping so now there's 4 humans on the battlefield. She has added herself
12 power.
12 power.
For 4 mana.
For 4 mana. How is it not?
I mean, how much more can I ask from my aggro tribal deck? It cares about humans and it's really aggressive. That's kind of all I need, right? What else is this card supposed to do?
I think this card does what it's supposed to do. I think it's good.
You cast it for 6. Now she makes 3 power from herself, 3 from the first human, and 3 from the second human. It's 9 power for 6 mana, assuming you have no humans.
Yeah, you're gonna want to give this haste. You're gonna want to get in and beat hard.
Give your creatures haste, just smash people.
You're going wide. That's gonna be the whole goal of something like
Power
this.
matters, double strike, counters, just expendable dudes. Throw in an aristocrat sub-theme so that when you can't beat anymore, you just sack all your tokens that you make and you kill everybody.
Yeah, like feed them all to a tiger.
Feed them all to some tiger, I don't know, let's just say a 6-legged cat nightmare.
Yeah, a 6-legged cat nightmare. 8 for fun. This is aggro beats. I think aggro beats is always fun in Commander.
Aggro beats loses fun power for you, the player, because you can only go so far with aggro beats.
Yeah.
Before you if you just combo, that doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Like, I had aggro beats for the first 4 turns, but then I'm going to go infinite. Well, then you didn't really aggro beats anybody.
Yeah, and when the board starts getting really gummed up, aggro beats start feeling real bad because you start getting board stalled out really quick.
But that's not Gerina's fault. I'm not going to take this out on Gerina. She's a really good aggro beats card.
Well, I'll take it out on Gerina's fun. I won't take it out on her power.
Well, separate the art from the artist.
Yes, exactly. 10 for art because she just looks great.
We're separating the art from the artist on this one. I don't even know who the artist is.
I don't know either.
Hey!
It looks really good though.
It's great. Oh, it's Magali because it's her only cards are Fabric plus Sunset. That's every Magali art.
I think it's
Fabric plus Sunlight.
No, it looks great.
No, they all look amazing. I'm just saying she does the thing and then it's really good. It's like Seb McKinnon, like, whoa, that's creepy, but it's really good.
Yeah, they all look. I mean, it looks really good. I don't like. I think BZ originally said when I give it a 9 for. I'm like, what's wrong with it?
And then I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there's just not really.
It's fantastic.
There's nothing here to like complain about. Like,
I love how bright the sky is in the background. It's so blue.
I love the crystals. They're just everywhere.
She's got green and she's copper coat and green and copper and blue, and those are all colors. How about her lore?
Her boyfriend killed her dad.
Her boyfriend's a planeswalker.
Her boyfriend is Luca. And Luca killed her dad because her dad killed Luca's tiger. Flying tiger.
Like Luca's bromance with the tiger.
Yeah, he was the one who was bonded with him.
It was a love square. It was Luca, this beast, Gerina, and her dad. And whatever combination you think is the most weird, let us know in the comments.
No, if we're doing a square, at least you have to. No, it doesn't work because. In order to do a love square, we want to avoid. I was trying to avoid having the 2 family members touching. But if you do that, then the 2 bonded ones aren't touching each other.
They aren't touching each other
Because so they would
Luca may be in love with her dad. Luca has
we know Luca is in love with the dad. Luca and the dad are in opposite corners. That's how it has to work.
Right, but I'm saying then you have to. It doesn't matter.
So Luca. So. The weird combination that we get there is the daughter. Well, I guess the daughter and the father being in love makes logical sense because they're father-daughter. We're not going to say
no. It's sexual.
There's no sexual.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, and then the dad loves the tiger.
If you love me, let me go.
All right.
What's happening? Where are we? Uniqueness. It doesn't really do a ton of things that are out of the ordinary for Mardu.
It doesn't do a ton of things that are out of the ordinary, especially for aggro. It's aggro. It's tribal. We've seen this. We've seen it before. We'll see it again.
But yeah, some of the best ones we have to offer, and there's only 3 left from the whole C20 set. So that was one of the best ones, and these are the 3 best ones.
So at number 100, we have Agave Nez Warden, right above Gerina Kudrow, Lisa Kudrow's sister.
Yes.
And right below Garuda 2 and a Jeskai for a legendary creature human shaman, 2/5. You may pay 0 rather than pay the cycling cost of the first card you cycle each turn. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 red-white dinosaur cat creature token.
So I'm obligating whoever edits this video to put the token on screen because it's so cute.
Nope.
It is adorable.
I'm only not going to do it to spite you.
Well, you're missing out, audience. I'm sorry that one of us is such a jerk, but go online, check it out.
Yeah,
you're missing out.
It is a really cute cat token. It is epically cute. This is a 6 for power. It comes out and you can immediately do this.
Right. You have an immediate pay 0, discard something, draw a card, maybe get an effect.
I mean, there's so many crazy ones. There's so many big...
Yeah, we know about the clickbait ones, the decrees of all 3 of them. Dismantling Wave is a new one. Blow of Artifacts, Enchantments. It's great. It's totally fine. I'm not ranking this based on doing that every time.
Yeah, but I mean, a free cycle on anything is just fine.
If you said it every upkeep, you discard a card, then draw a card. I'm in.
Yeah, and on your turn, you get a cat. And if you potentially do discard...
But if you build around it any more, you put any more effort in it at all, you get more cats.
Yeah.
So she defends you. She defends herself because she's a 2/5. She's kind of bulky.
I mean, the cats are such gravy. They're so much gravy because you don't need them really, but that was unsettling. Yeah, you don't need them really, but you have them, and you're gonna use them because they're there.
Exactly.
10 for fun. You're cycling big giant things. You're cycling small things. You're cycling. You're drawing your deck. You're doing cool things.
Well, you can ignore the cycling and just try to draw 2 cards every turn.
You could if you wanted to.
That does fork and it lets you go 2 different build around ways. In terms of art, she would get higher points if the cats were looking at the screen, but they're way less cute on the art. They're all blobby and they look like they're made out of clay. Where's the one on the token? That's really cute.
But yeah, it's just completely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. She's just an old lady.
She's an old lady who accidentally, it segues so well. She accidentally, these cats imprinted on her, and there's an indeterminate amount of them.
Yeah.
Because there could always be more.
I mean, there was a bajillion eggs and she couldn't count them all.
She was in the middle, she fell from a helicopter, landed in the middle, and they all hatched at the same time.
Yeah, and she stood up and the camera panned out to just reveal so many eggs.
That was a scene in Aliens, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
They enter a cave and they're like, there's an egg. Oh, there's 1,000 eggs.
That's just like a classic. That's a trope at this point in movies.
Eggs.
Where
reveals.
Where you start out zoomed in on something,
and this is way worse than you thought it was.
You pull out to a reveal of way more of it.
Mm-hmm. Just like when they made the first 3 Star Wars and then they expanded the universe, it got way worse.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no passionate opinions on Star Wars. It's just take that, Star Wars fans. Now you're unsubscribed, and I did it for no reason.
An 8. Well, what about uniqueness?
Well, I think Star Wars is great, and anyone who likes Star Wars should resubscribe. But after getting that out of the way, I think this is a really unique card because it makes tokens, it cares about drawing 2, and it cares about cycling.
These are all things that you don't get. There's not many cycling commanders. How many are there?
I think there's almost 0.
Okay, so this is your...
legitimately, this might be the only one.
So this is your only cycling commander. Drawing multiple cards isn't... Caring what that is unique, but also getting a token with it. There's just a lot of routes here. There's a lot of things to do.
Yeah, and the next commander is the second highest. Abzan almost taking home the trophy twice, but nope. This one is Cathril Aspect Warper, above Yidris Maelstrom Wielder and below Selvala Heart of the Wilds. At 73, 2 in an Abzan for 3/3, legendary Nightmare Insect. When it enters the battlefield, put a flying counter on any creature you control if a card in your graveyard has flying. Repeat this process for first strike, double strike, death touch, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, reach, trample, and vigilance. Then put a +1/+1 counter on Cathril for each counter put on a creature this way. The only notable absent keyword is haste. You have to give haste yourself because I guess they didn't want to make it completely free to just bash somebody right away.
Yeah, I mean,
I respect that.
I respect that it's fair, more fair in that way.
If it could get haste, I think this would be a 7 or an 8
for
power. The only drawback is can't get in with Cathril right away. Could get in with a different creature right away if you give it double strike.
But can have indestructible and hexproof. How hard is that?
Indestructible, hexproof, double strike. Everything else is gravy.
How do you beat that? I don't even know. Do you want me to put you on camera for that? Oh my goodness, that was
I held
fast.
up a gravy boat.
All right, yeah.
We'll go to the Jumbotron instant replay.
The Jumbotron instant replay. Welcome to the Nitpicking Nerds Jumbotron.
It's just your computer screen.
It's your computer screen, but I put text on screen so you know it's a Jumbotron. Whoa. Look at BZ pour that gravy.
Gravy. I did such a good job. This card is amazing. It's very resilient to board wipes. It's can be instantaneous. It can affect a wide board. It can affect just one creature, which leads to the 10 for fun because you can do almost whatever you want as long as you're putting cards in your graveyard with keywords.
I wanna say something because we are saying something completely contradictory to what another YouTube channel has said. They said that this card is completely susceptible to board wipes, and it feels like the complete opposite.
I think it just is like cards that gain indestructible don't get board wiped very easily.
It's like, and so on top of that, you play this card, you get its effect.
Right, let's say you get 4 counters and it's indestructible with whatever.
And then let's just say they play a board wipe that does deal with it.
They exile, they Toxic Deluge.
They Toxic Deluge. Now, everything is gone, but you just get, the next couple turns, you get the mana to replay your commander.
And then it'll just be bigger.
It'll be bigger with the same things.
It's the same stuff. Like, okay, that was a nice trick you pulled out. Do it again. My creature still passes the vanilla test. It's a 10/10 with double strike.
It does not feel very susceptible because it doesn't have to exile the things from your graveyard.
No, they stay in. You don't have to use it. It's just a resource that's continuously available.
Like, I would feel like it's very susceptible to board wipes if it was exiled, but it's not.
No, right. Just like Soul Flayer.
Yeah, if it was a Soul Flayer effect where you had to exile those cards, then it's like, okay, so Soul Flayer.
This card would be bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It would just be bad. 8 for artwork. It's a little nebulous as to what's going on, but there's an insect. You can get the basic gist of it. There's wings. It's a nightmare. It's got tendrils flying around everywhere. This thing can like disappear and reappear at will. It can like shoot mist, as we saw in the worst of the free commander spells.
It shoots mist?
Yeah, it kind of creates a fog. It's like Catherall chooses when it's seen.
Well, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Catherall chooses when it's seen. Why would you ever choose to be seen?
Yeah, and then we said, why would you ever choose to be seen?
Yeah,
this isn't even a human. It doesn't have friends. It doesn't have a social circle. It doesn't have responsibilities.
Yeah.
Because all it needs to do is poop and hunt. Just be invisible. That's what I would do if all I did was poop and hunt.
All you do is poop and hunt.
I don't hunt.
I
spew poop and then I poop after.
And a 9 for uniqueness because this card is just a big giant full threat. It gets counters. It gets all the different kinds of counters that are new to this set. I mean, I feel like there's just, and you can also not even have to stack all the stuff on him. If you want to give this ability haste, you can put them all on a different creature.
Right. Voltron something else or a creature with hexproof that's already big. Like end of turn, flash in like a slippery bogbinder. Well, it has hexproof. Throw a bunch of counters on it from your other guys, and then play Catherall. It's like, this is ridiculous. You're dead.
Yeah,
you die. This thing is huge.
Yeah, and it can get lifelink. Don't forget that, because lifelink is how you augment your life total to stay out of danger of dying.
Oh man, don't want to take this hit. I guess I'll just hit for like 50 and gain it all back.
Sounds good to me.
Notably, it can't really grow past a certain point in terms of +1 counters, but you can still pile on.
So what is the number one commander, the best commander from this set?
The best commander from this set, for my money, it's got to be Zyrus, the Writhing Storm. Comes in at 51 out of every commander. It's only worse than 50 of them ever. Above Kalia of the Vast and below Kenrith, the Returned King. 2 and a teamer for a 3/5 flyer, Snake Leviathan. Whenever an opponent draws a card except the first one they draw on their draw step, make a 1/1 green Snake token. Whenever this thing deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each draw that many cards. So if it hits for 5, you both draw 5 and you get 5 snakes.
That's a lot of snakes.
Okay, this is powerful because you can just play the cutthroat game of, I'm never going to attack with it, I'm not playing group hug, I'm just going to play Windfall, and they get 30 snakes from it and use one of my sack outlets, Gaia's Cradle, mana production, haste enablers, like just go insane.
Skull Clamp.
This reminds me of the Locust God, kind of. I was thinking of what card this reminded me of. It's got a Locust God vibe to it.
It does, but it's so much better.
Sure.
Because if you Windfall,
it's easier to make more. If you Windfall with Locust God, you get 7, but if you Windfall with this, you get 21.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's silly.
It's such a silly amount of snakes.
You could even just play Snake Tribal. Just give your snakes +2/+0. Where's the Gerina Kudrow for snakes? Because that's lethal damage.
You can do a lot of things here. You can go group hug if you really want to. You can make everyone draw cards with a Temple Bell. Woohoo! You get 3 snakes and everyone draws a card.
So the fact that you can take this 5 different directions at least that we just mentioned, and one of them is group hug, 10. 10 for fun. I'm sorry. That's amazing. Good for you, the player. Everyone gets to play more Magic. You get to play more Magic if you're playing Cutthroat. That's just good for any sense of what fun is.
If you want to play Cutthroat, it's so, like I said, a Windfall is so insane.
Yeah, but this is a little clunky. It's not a perfect 10 out of 10 for power. It's a 5-drop that then you need to cast like 3 drops after.
Oh, you get snakes. You get so many snakes.
Yeah, you do.
It's just a lot of snakes.
I agree. And then Indiana Jones just shaking his head. He's rolling in his grave right now.
It's Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Who is both alive in lore and the actor is still alive.
And is a fictional character.
And is a fictional character.
Yeah.
Okay, so is not dead in any way.
In any possible sense.
Yeah. Okay, he's rolling in his grave. Okay, so he went to his grave where he knows he'll be buried, and he just started rolling.
He started rolling because he hates snakes. Why do I have to be snakes? That's not a roll.
The art is whatever. He's like attacking the Sky City.
Yeah, he keeps preying on this floating Sky City that we know nothing about. We know it's this floating Sky City, and he keeps going boop and just like snatches a person off every day.
He just eats people.
You think they would learn to stay inside, but they don't.
I don't know where the snakes are coming from. They're just like falling off.
That's the best part. Where are the snakes coming from?
He's got a snake. I like to think that he like, you know, like those little like
those. I was gonna say
popper things.
The poppers. It's like that's full real snakes.
Yeah, but he has them on his side.
He naturally grows them.
Yeah, he every day.
Oh, he
refills them with snakes and then
goes to the store.
Boo.
Goes to the snake store.
No, he just goes to the ground and picks up all the snakes.
Goes to the We Hate Indiana Jones store.
Yeah, We Hate Indiana Jones.
It's got snakes and then women who will have sex with you and then betray you. That's what it has. That's it.
Darn it.
It's the only two threats to Indiana Jones.
And this is a 6 for, what's that 6? Coolness.
He's
a flying.
We described what he does. We described his day-to-day life.
He's a flying snake. That's what he is. And
he shops a lot at the Indiana Jones store, and he picks people off like little snacks.
This is a 10 for uniqueness, though, because any extra card your opponent's drawing, you're getting some value out of it.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that you don't have to put any effort at all into get like a couple snakes a turn. Who's not drawing extra cards?
Yeah, if they're not drawing extra cards, you're
losers. That's who.
Yeah, I mean, if nobody's drawing extra cards at the table, you're probably the one winning because you're going to be drawing extra cards.
Yeah, that's the plan, right? I would like to draw extra cards.
I would love.
This is such a classic, like random cards are good in this deck, like Arcane Denial. Like you want to draw two snakes.
You know, it's funny. This deck. If you're building the best version of this deck, it plays the biggest number.
Which is?
It's playing Narset.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, because you win a different way.
Yeah, exactly. Narset and a Windfall or...
no, that still gets you 3 snakes. Because they go down to 1 card.
That's true.
Hey.
And it's still... It Nambo's there, but you win the game like that.
Oh. It's not a Nambo with Narset. You hit with Zyrus and you draw 3 cards and they don't.
Aw,
that's just a different type of gravy nonsense. I'll let you do it this time.
Yeah, gravy Narset? I don't know.
I said nonsense.
Oh, gravy nonsense. This is, I guess, I don't know. This doesn't really apply to that.
It's gravy with Narset. I don't know. We're done with the video. We finally got through it. It took like an hour. Oh my God. These are so difficult to go through because not only do we have to rank every one of these individually, which takes some time. We're not going to just throw numbers up on a screen. We deliberate for at least a couple minutes each on each like number. We have to then factor in like, okay, well, we know Zyrus is a 39 pointer, but which 39 pointers does he go in between?
It takes a lot of these videos take a lot of effort. Some of the most effort of any videos we do.
Editing, like pre-production, planning, and we're definitely whining because we want you to join our Patreon. There's 54 other people who did it because they couldn't take our whining anymore. Tell them about
it. So you can join our Patreon. You head over to patreon.com/Nitpicking Nerds. We love all of our patrons as much as we can without making them uncomfortable. All of our patrons, a lot of them today, were actually doing something cool. They were watching us stream some Magic Arena. We were playing some drafts.
It was a little rough, but we got the stream done. You know, it's on there. You can go watch it. It was so much fun to do. Obviously, every time we do a stream, it's going to get better and better. Maybe we'll just do a couple more for fun. I plan on whenever I have extra time to play Arena, maybe just, and my streams won't be long and they won't be planned in advance. So if you want to, you can head over to twitch.com. We'll announce it on Twitter and Discord. Discord is patrons only. Twitter is Twitter followers only. So I guess follow us on Twitter if you want to know.
So if you're really itching for more Nitpicking Nerds content, you can watch us draft on Arena. We can't really play too much EDH. We're not big MTGO fans, but maybe we will. One of our patrons wanted to see that, and he said cards are basically dirt cheap for EDH.
But it's MTGO. I've played Arena. I feel like I didn't even like MTGO when Arena didn't exist.
Yep, I agree.
Like I was poo-pooing on it even then. So yeah. I don't know if I could ever go to it. I'd so much rather, in a couple months we're going to have a different place, be able to set up a studio in a room without a green screen, just set up gameplay there.
Yep.
Just wait a couple months and then we'll get it grinded.
Yeah, I really can't wait for that. And so, two other ways they can support us.
Other stuff is TCG Player, link in the description. Not going to take you to anything particular. Doesn't matter where it goes because you can take that link anywhere in the site, buy whatever you want. We get a little bit of kickback without you spending extra money. And if you would like to spend extra money after you buy cards for yourself, go to buymeacoffee.com. You can throw us a tip, just a little pick me up like, hey, thanks. That was awesome. I laughed a lot. I learned something today. I have $3 that I don't need.
Yep. And a tidbit about our life. I think I want to mention streaming again. We're going to keep doing it more and more. So you go over to Twitch, hit follow along with hitting subscribe on this if you want.
You really don't have to. Honestly, I could care less if anyone subscribes on Twitch. Just follow us because maybe then you'll know when we're live.
It's gravy.
If you subscribe to us,
that's gravy. That's our gravy content.
That's our gravy content. I thought you meant it's gravy if someone gives us money.
Oh no. Our gravy content is what we do on Twitch because this is our main content. This is what we're focused and producing.
Yeah,
but
we do play Limited a lot.
But yeah, we play a lot of Limited. We go over there, so head over there. I'm gonna try and put up some VODs at some points of those streams, but for right now, we're gotta head out because I got a lot of editing to do. Peace out, Tribe Scout.